Hey everyone, this is Manly Badass Hero and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Previously we completed the second set of side stories, and now we're back off to the main story. So first off, we'll start with the Sayori poem. Oh man, I'm the last one here again. Don't worry, I just walked in too. So how you doing? Oof, were you practicing piano again? Yeah, haha. You must have a lot of determination. Starting this club and not picking up piano. Well, maybe not determination, that's more of an Undertale thing. But I guess passion. Remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're all willing to help out for the festival too. Ah, I can't wait for the festival. It's gonna be great. Eh? Were you complaining about just yesterday, Natsuki? Well, yeah. I'm not talking about our part of the festival. It's a whole day of school where we get to play and eat all kinds of delicious food. You sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden. I was gonna say. My vocals, were even slowly shifting towards, how I kind of, do her mannerisms and voice. Monica, do they usually have fried squid? Squid? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to. Fried squid is great. Oh, come on. Are you saying you don't like squid? You of all people? Eh? I didn't say I don't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you of all people? Because it's right in your name. Mon-ika. Eh? Japanese name pun. That's not how you say my name at all. Also, that joke makes no sense in translation. Monica, no! Never mind. Let's just focus on our own event for now, okay? Fine. Your reactions aren't as fun as Yuri's or Sayori's anyway. Excuse me. Where is Sayori anyway? Oh, there you are. Sayori's sitting at a desk in the corner of the room, looking down at nothing. I walk over to her. Hey, Sayori. I wave my hand in front of her face. Eh? You're spacing out again. Sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. Huh. Is everything alright? Of course. Why wouldn't it be? It just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for assuming things. Geez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine, see? Sayori shows me a big smile. Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone. Well, alright. If you say so. I worriedly glance at Sayori before turning back toward everyone else. But the conversation is already dispersed, with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sayori recently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they must be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approach Monica, who is shuffling through some papers at her desk. Manly, what's up? Ceiling. Hey, this might sound a little strange, but have you noticed anything up with Sayori recently? Anything up with her? In what way do you mean? Maybe I'm reading into it a little too much, but she seems a bit downcast today. Oh? You think so? I can't say I've noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who's idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her desk. Monica, come on. Look at that. The Genki character's not being Genki. Come on, Monica. That's literally the Genki's character job. That's like Mickey Mouse not having the voice that goes, oh! Maybe there's something on her mind. But I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you, Manly. You certainly know her a lot better than I do. Do I? Yeah, but she's never really like this. She's always talked to me about things that bothered her. But this time, when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, no, it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, so I'll drop it now. No. It's important to me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her. And I also care about the well-being of my club members, you know? Maybe I'll try talking to her myself. Huh? You sure about that? She seemed like she wanted to be left alone. Are you sure? Maybe she just has a hard time bringing it up with a person of interest. Person of interest? What do you mean by that? I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you, Manly. Well, I'm on everyone's mind. If you're watching this, I might be on your mind right now. Me? How on earth would you come to that conclusion? Well, I probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anyone else, you know? Eh? She's been so much happier ever since you've joined the club. It's been like an extra light was turned on inside of her. What? No way. Sayori is always like that. Gee willikers. Manly, what do you think? Every time you see her, she's always like that. Why am I saying gee willikers? Did I watch Batman recently? She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different now than it always has been. You're so funny, Manly. Have you thought that maybe you've always seen her as so cheerful? Because that's just how she is. See? See? I called it! Because that's just how she is when she's around you. Ah, I said too much. I'm sorry. What do I know anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so you should just forget about what I said. I'll try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now. Ah, alright. Monica smiles meaningfully. I know she said to forget about it, but I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. I want her to kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her, but she's keeping her voice so quiet that I can't hear her from here. I sigh and set myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her, and to have fun with everyone else, but that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I need to care about her that letting this weigh me down so much? Now it feels like I'm the one behaving out of the ordinary. But there's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica. Okay, everyone. After some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room. Why don't we share our poems now? Before I know it, everything is back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems, and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica, and she smiles at me. I wonder what she was talking about with Sayori. Who should I show my poem to first? Show it to Sayori. This is your best one so far. It's really, really nice, Manly. Thanks. Sayori, you've been a little quiet today. Is everything alright? Eh? Of course! Everything is fine. No, it's not, Sayori. Talk to me. Maybe I'm just a little tired today. Do you want a nap or something? No, that's silly. Don't worry about me, okay? I only want to see smiles on your face. Well, alright. Hey, Manly. I'm still a little surprised. I really thought you'd try writing your poems like the way Yuri does. Or even Natsuki. But in the end... Yeah. In the end, I loaded everyone's route and did them all at once. I guess you're the one who likes this one the most. Why? You don't want to get closer with everyone else? Wait. Of course I do. But that doesn't mean I need to try so hard to impress them. I still understand you the most, Sayori. I know you have sometimes to put up with me. And I have to sometimes put up with you. But we have a wavelength or something. And this is how the poem came out. Sometimes it feels like you're the only exciting thing in my life. So sometimes, it's just easier to write when thinking about you. Sayori? No. Manly. I don't deserve this. You're too nice to me. Why are you doing this? Sayori has trouble keeping her voice steady all of a sudden. If you had fun with everyone else instead, this would be so much easier. Sayori. I glance around the room to make sure nobody has noticed this. Sayori, I've probably never said this before, but I don't understand what you're feeling right now. Tell me what will cheer you up. Sayori shakes her head. She sniffles and keeps shaking her head. Finally, she gathers herself and puts on a smile. It's nothing, Manly. It's just a little rain cloud. Oh god, don't say it that way. I'm sorry you had to see that. I promise it won't happen again. Just smiles from everyone, okay? That's all that matters. Go play with everyone else. I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. No! Sayori. Tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom, humming to herself. Let's show this to Monica now. Hi, Manly. Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival? Well, being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people, I'll have to give it some more thought. Okay, no pressure. But whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. It would also make me happy to see. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem. Sure. Let Monica take the poem I'm holding in my hands. It's kind of funny. How so? No, not the poem. I mean, it's funny how your poems and Sayori's poems have been getting more and more similar to each other every day. I'm surprised you're so in sync with her. Then again, you've been spending a lot of time together lately, haven't you? I guess you could say that. Although we kind of grew up as best friends, I haven't been seeing as much of her this past year. But since I joined the club, we've been spending a lot of time together again. I see. It reminds me about how Sayori's been a little bit off today. Yeah? Did she tell you something? Well... Manly, you haven't been flirting with her, have you? Of course not. No promises? I've been treating her like I always do. Uh-oh. Alright. Just making sure. I know how much you care about her. It would be terrible if something bad happened to her. So keep an eye on her. Sayori's been acting so much happier ever since you joined the club. What could have happened all of a sudden? Well, never mind. This really isn't time to be talking about this. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright? Alright. The Lady Who Knows Everything. An old tale tells of a lady who wanders Earth. The lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer. All meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. And here I am, a feather. Lost adrift the sky, victim of the currents of the wind. Day after day I search. I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. But when all else has failed me, when all the others have turned away, the legend is all that remains, the last dim star glimmering in the twilight sky. Until one day, the wind ceases to blow. I fall, and I fall and fall and fall even more. Gentle as a feather, a dry quill, expressionless, but a hand catches me between the thumb and forefinger. The hand of a beautiful lady. I look at her eyes to find no end to her gaze. The lady who knows everything knows what I am thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amount to nothing. There is no meaning, there is no purpose, and we seek only the impossible. I am not your legend. Your legend does not exist. And with a breath, she blows me back afloat, and I pick up a gust of wind. You know, I feel like learning and looking for answers are the sorts of things that give life meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about. I see. I never really put much thought into it. In a way, it's almost paradoxical. Because if we had all the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning? You know, there's one thing I noticed. It seems like everyone in this club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy. Are you surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Dang, just like the blues. Humans aren't two-dimensional creatures. I think you know better than anyone. You mean one-dimensional? Yeah, that. Hey, wait a minute. That line is a little weird. It sticks out to me really badly. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? It can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much into. But if you find other people who enjoy writing, then sharing becomes a lot easier. Because instead of just telling you that your writing is good or okay or bad, they'll want to focus more on everything that went into it and the things you can work on. It's much more encouraging that way, and will make you want to continue improving. It's almost like having your own little literature club, don't you think? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. So now we're doing the Natsuki route. Hey, you. Eh? Like to see Natsuki next to me. Are you just gonna sit there and keep staring at nothing? Yee. There isn't that much time, so... Oh, sorry. I didn't make you worry or anything. It's not like I'm worried. I was just... Natsuki glances down at her side. She's holding a volume of manga in her hand. That's right. I could hear the manga coming a mile away. It makes a very peculiar sound. Like... Kashunk. No, that's the giant fish. Something just came up for a minute, but we can get started now. I won't make you wait any longer. Jeez. Now you make me feel like a jerk. If something's bothering you, then you can just tell me to leave you alone and I will. I mean, assuming you didn't feel like talking about it or anything. She practically mumbles that last part. Nah, I'm probably making it seem like a bigger deal than it is. I've just been thinking about Sayori, that's all. Sayori? Thinking about her? Yeah, she seems pretty down today. But she didn't want to admit it to me. So I can't help but wonder if something happened to her. Oh, you mean that way, oh. Natsuki exhales. Well, first of all, you should only be thinking about me. Secondly, whoops, you should really work on your phrasing. But anyway, you're her best friend, right? Emphasis on the friend. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Then in that case, I think you should trust her a little more. If she needed you, then you would be the first person she would go to, right? Well, I guess that's true. I mean, some people just have those days. You can't always avoid it. If anything, she probably doesn't want you to worry about her because it's not important. See, this is actually a pretty key part of Natsuki's character, especially as we saw in the side stories. She's very much about like, I gotta solve my own problems. Give me my space to solve them. Yeah, that's kind of what she said to me. But of course, everyone's different. Some people are like that, some people aren't. Everyone's different. Maybe it's not right for me to go against her wishes. Exactly. If she needs you to worry about her, then it'll be a lot more obvious. Yeah. I should have thought of it that way from the start. Natsuki feels with the book she's holding in her hands. She really means a lot to you, doesn't she? Don't get the wrong idea or anything. We've just been friends for a long time. Sayori cries in the corner. It's normal to be worried about your friends. I mean, you were worried about me, so... I was not. Jeez, if you're fine, then let's hurry and get started already. Yeah. Okay, and then let's show off the poems. I think pretty much like it was something like, you only get CGs for like the first two poems. The third one is seen like that. Alright, let's show the poem to Natsuki first. Let's see. You're certainly enthusiastic today. Of course. You know I like your writing. I'm just surprised. It seemed like you had a lot of trouble admitting that before. There's definitely variations on this. I'm not gonna go through all of them though. That'd just be like a little tedious and kind of like break the pacing of this. Well, of course. I just had to put you in your place a little bit. It's not like I was shy or anything stupid like that. Or jealous. Natsuki, please. No liars in this classroom. I really wasn't jealous. No, I wasn't. Just because you happen to be a good writer? That's such a dumb thing to get jealous about. Said the anime girl. Who's acting like a cliche. Natsuki. What? You're not very confident about your writing, are you? Eh? What are you talking about? My writing is obviously the best. Right? It took me a while to figure out, but I think I finally did. Maybe Natsuki acts so arrogant because she's trying to make up for her own insecurities. If she acts like she's the best, then other people might think that way too. Right? Manly? Please just tell me you like my poems. I don't care if you hate them. Just please tell me I'm the best. I just really need to hear that from someone. I know I sound stupid, but there's a reason I never shared my poems before this. Natsuki. Because nobody ever takes me seriously. What's the point in sharing my poems if people just laugh and say, that's so cute, kawaii, just like you, Natsuki? Sometimes I don't want to be cute, but nobody understands that. I try really hard when I write. The style doesn't matter. The emotions are there. Why can't anyone see that? I just want... Natsuki trails off. Maybe it's because her lips started to quiver. I look down. Her fists were clenched really tightly. Hey, Natsuki. If you're not careful, you'll rip your own poem. I gently grab the poem with my own hand until she relaxes her grip on it. I place it flat on the desk and smooth out the wrinkles that she put into it. Don't read it. Before I can pick it back up, Natsuki snatches a poem up from the desk. It's not any good. And I know you hate my poems. So you don't have to read this one, okay? But I want to read it. Why? Because it's from you. I like your poems. Same thing. Pretty much the same statement. I really do. Why would I judge you for your style? It's not like my own style is anything crazy. I mean, it's true that the first time I read one of your poems, I didn't look much into it. But I know you better now. And it's wrong for Yuri to think your style is more amateur than hers. And Sayori, she always means well. But sometimes she's so focused on simple happiness that she doesn't understand what people really want. Yeah, I guess I'm really fond about how hard it is for you. And I'm sorry if I was part of that problem. I understand now. You're not just cute. You're a lot more than that. Ah, Natsuki, you're doing it again. Once again, Natsuki clutches her poem a little too hard. She looks down, hiding her eyes from me. I never realized how difficult this was for her. But finally, she forces herself to extend her arms and set her poem on the table. You can read it. Just turn that way. I don't want you to look at my face right now. Okay, I will. Oh boy. Because you. Tomorrow will be brighter with me around. But when today is dim, I could only look down. My looking is a little more forward, because you look at me. When I want to say something, I say it with a shout, but my truest feelings can never come out. My words are a little less empty, because you listen to me. When something is above me, I reach for the stars, but when I feel small, I don't get very far. My standing's a little bit taller, because you sit with me. I believe in myself with all my heart, but what do I do when it's torn all apart? My faith is a little bit stronger because you trusted me. My pen always puts my feelings to the test. I'm not a good writer, but my best is my best. My poems are a little bit dearer, because you think of me. Because you. And this last part was just them stammering. That's not part of the poem. That's just them doing the Sundari thing. Why are you looking at me like that? If you don't like it, then just say it. I won't get mad. No, it's not that I don't like it. It was just a little surprising to read. I guess I'm not used to hearing such nice things coming from you. Don't just say that. Dummy. Baka, correction. What do you think the point of writing is? Expressing things that you can't just say. Yeah, I understand. I'm sorry for missing the point sometimes. I always mean well. And I'm happy that you showed this to me. I liked it. Well, yeah. I'm a pro, so... Natsuki mumbles, completely failing to sound confident like she usually does. Just remember that. I can think these things sometimes too. You know, when you're nice to me, it's... meaningful. Ah, I'm glad. Sensing Natsuki is satisfied, I start to hand the poem back to her. No, you can keep it. But as I do so, Natsuki takes my hands and pushes them back away. Her small, soft hands surprise me with their assertion. I don't want it. Eh? Why not? I just don't. Jeez. I realize what Natsuki's doing. Unable to be honest, she's trying to give me the poem in a roundabout way. Well, in that case I'm going to keep it. Instead of teasing her, I choose to go along with it. Good. If you didn't, I would... Never mind. Just, I'm glad that you want it. Natsuki backpedals on her words and leaves it at that. Despite her best efforts to hide her expression, I can see her faintly smiling to herself. That's all for now, so... I go put it away before someone sees it, okay? Oh, yeah. I'll go do that. With that, I return to my seat, so I can put away Natsuki's poem. Let's show it to Monica now. Hi, Manly. Sup? Sticking with Natsuki's style once more, I see. You really like Natsuki, don't you? That's... Oh, come on, Manly. It's awfully suspicious, you know. You like Castlevania, don't you? Spending time with her in the club room every day. Pretending to like the manga that she's into. You know how Natsuki is. If I don't indulge her, she'll end up hating me. No, I think you're misunderstanding, Manly. It's not like Natsuki just hates anyone who doesn't give her what she wants. Yeah, she's assertive, but she's not that selfish. In fact, I think you're the only one who's indulged her as much as you have. Is that so? I kind of knew that. I just didn't want to admit it. So I just need to ask one thing of you. Be careful, please. Natsuki's kind of unpredictable. A lot of times, she doesn't even know what she wants. After all, she's the youngest one here. She might not know how to handle her own feelings properly. What I'm saying is, if something bad happens, then it could end up damaging the club too. And you wouldn't do that to me, right? I'm not sure how to respond to Monica. While I care about her in the club, it's also kind of unfair to bring that up. Well, you're smart. I'm sure you'll do the right thing. Monica smiled sweetly. Anyway, what happens if I show it to Sayori? It's nice, I guess. Come on, I can already tell you don't like it. Well, you don't need to worry about what I think. After all, you wrote this for someone else, didn't you? Probably Natsuki. Huh? I didn't write this for anyone specifically. Maybe that's not really what I meant, though. But it's okay. You're making new friends just like I was hoping. That makes me really happy. And you're happy too, right? In this club? Well, of course I am. Good. That's all that matters to me. Thank you, Manly. Sayori, is there something wrong? Huh? No, nothing. I'm just a little tired today. Alright. Just tell me if you need anything. I will. Don't worry about me, okay? You can go play with everyone else now. If you insist. Yay. I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Sayori? Tell Monica wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom, humming to herself. Let's show the poem to Yuri. Also, this is Natsuki's. Yuri doesn't look too enthusiastic about spending time with me. I guess if she changes her mind, she'll come to me. But I should leave her be for now. She hates me! Because I went down on the other route. And now we're gonna do the Yuri route. Why does it feel like I'm being watched? I glance around the room. Suddenly I notice Yuri peering at me from over her book. Gee. She looks away just as quickly with a flustered look on her face. I realize that she won't get anywhere like this. I've never really seen Yuri approach anyone or start a conversation on her own accord. So I've no choice but to approach her myself. But now it's a little easier for me to do that. I stand up from my desk and sit in one next to her own. I didn't mean to bother you or anything. Relax, you didn't even do anything. But I could tell that you wanted to be alone with your thoughts. Alone with my thoughts. How were you even able to tell that I was thinking like that? Well, it's something that I do a lot. So it wasn't hard for me to spot based on your posture and expression. Not that I was staring or anything. I didn't do anything creepy like that. In any case, I guess you were right. I'm sorry if I caused you any concern. Don't apologize. Your troubles are only concern of those who are willing to share in that concern. Of course, there are certainly those who find the most comfort in keeping to themselves. But if you prefer to share what's on your mind, then I'd be glad to listen. It's not really that big of a deal. I was just feeling a bit uneasy about Sayori. Sayori? Yeah, she seems a little off today. When I asked her about it, she didn't want to admit to me. So I can't help but wonder if something happened to her. Oh, that's quite romantic. Eh? Sorry. I didn't mean to say something stupid. It's not that, I just didn't want you to misunderstand. Sayori and I have just been friends for a long time. That's all. Oh, I see. Then perhaps it's unusual for her to be dismissive to you about her feelings. Or maybe I'm just reading to it a little too much. Manly, the world is full of meaning often hidden deep beneath plain sight. And there are many untold mysteries behind every person, no matter how well you may know them. So you think that there might be something behind it after all? I think that Sayori is a very complex person. Her mannerisms on the outside don't always match what may be going on inside her head. And she may not always know what she wants. I noticed her strange behavior today too. And I also feel some concern for her. But in your case, it looked like she was fully occupying her thoughts, wasn't she? Well, I guess that was the case. Sayori, she really means a lot to you, doesn't she? I guess. But you don't need to put it that way. We're just good friends, that's all. Yuri suddenly looks deeply into my eyes. Her expression is gentle and curious, as if she was searching for something. Embarrassed, I avert my gaze. Sometimes, a person's mysteries are untold even to themselves. And you, as someone honest and caring, may uncover feelings you weren't aware were in you. That is, I think that she would be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about her. Yuri, you're giving me too much credit. I'm a pretty simple guy, so I think I'm pretty good at understanding my own feelings. I'm not nearly as sophisticated as you. Ah, that's not a compliment, is it? It is what it is. Anyway, as long as we're here, why don't we do some reading? Well, as long as you're okay with it. Yeah, I should be taking my mind off this whole thing anyway. Okay, let's show off the poems. So we'll show it to Yuri first, because it's meant for her. Manly, your writing has only improved in these last few days. Every poem you've shown me has been nothing but short of spectacular. I can really feel the emotions. I'm a little envious even. I don't think it ever came to me this naturally. Yuri, that's the wrong way to put it. This never did come naturally to me, but I'm able to improve so much thanks to you. You're really the example I was chasing after. Is that so? Yuri gently smiles to herself. This feeling, I'm so glad I got the chance to share my writing. I never thought it would feel like this. I remember you mentioning that yesterday. I can't believe that you're so good at something and you never even shared it with anyone. It's kind of a shame. Maybe, but it's not like I really had a choice. What do you mean? Well, Yuri smiles sadly. Manly, during lunchtime I eat by myself. Did you know that? It's a great time to find a quiet spot and do some reading. In fact, I always have some books with me. You could say I really enjoy reading. Well, that's one way to put it anyway. But books are so full of amazing, inspiring people. People you want to fall in love with. Or people you just know would make a really good friend. Cheerful people who always put a smile on your face. Or deep thinkers and problem solvers who discover the mysteries of life. So when you look at it that way, I'm surrounded by friends every day. You know? And those friends don't laugh at me. They don't tease me for spacing out all the time. They don't make fun of my body type. And they don't hate me for acting like a know-it-all. People say that about you? I'm not a know-it-all, Manly. It's the opposite. I don't know anything. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to make people see me as normal. I don't even know how to make myself happy. I have all these feelings, and all I could do with them is read and write. But it wasn't until now that I started sharing it with you that I really understood what was missing all this time. But I haven't really done anything. No, that's wrong. Just being patient and respectful. That's really important to me. I know I'm a difficult person, Manly. I speak too slowly. I second-guess myself all the time. I read too deeply into things. But every time, you've always treated me just like everyone else. It's so rare that I feel comfortable with myself when I talk to others. That's why every time I talk to you, I just feel really happy. I see. Well, I treat you how you deserve to be treated, Yuri. And if other people don't see it that way, then screw them. I mean, I joined this club hoping I would make friends. And I would say I've had at least one success. Wouldn't you? If you put it that way. Yeah. We really are friends now, aren't we? Yuri's like, well, it's not quite what I want to hear, but I got my foot in the door. Yuri puts her head on her hands. But this time she's smiling as she does it. Do you want to show me your poem? Yeah, I do. Let me get it for you. Ooh, Ghost from the Light Part 2. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. In the distance, a blue-green light flickers. A lone figure crosses its path, a silhouette obstructing the eerie glow. My heart Doki Dokis. The silhouette grows. Closer, closer. I open my umbrella, casting a shadow to shield me from invisibility. But I am too late. He steps into the streetlight. I gasp and drop my umbrella. The light flickers. My heart pounds. He raises his arm. Time stops. The only indication of movement is the amber light flickering against his outstretched arm. The flickering light is in rhythm with the pounding of my heart. teasing me for succumbing to this forbidden emotion. Have you ever heard of a ghost feeling warmth before? Giving up on understanding, I laugh. Understanding is overstated. Overrated, rather. I touch his hand. The flickering stops. Ghosts are blue-green. My heart is amber. Finish the poem, I start to hand it back to Yuri. But instead of taking it from me, she looks away. Do you dislike it? Oh no, of course not. I just don't really know how I should respond. Despite Yuri's poems usually being cryptic, it wasn't hard to figure out what this one was about. I don't know if I'll be able to explain this one. That's fine. I understand this one. Yuri's having an even harder time speaking than usual. Does this one mean a lot to you? Yuri nods. I'm not really good with words, but I'm happy that you shared it with me. So, thank you. And I hope we keep spending time together. That's practically a marriage proposal in anime terms. Despite my inability to make eye contact, I see a faint smile emerge on Yuri's lips. I once again try to hand the poem back to her, but instead Yuri gently takes my hands and pushes them back toward me. I hesitate in response to her warm touch. You can, the poem is... Once again, Yuri fails to form a complete sentence. You and I can keep it. Yuri nods. I'd love to. Again, Yuri faintly smiles, as if she doesn't want me to notice. You always make me feel nice. I know I'm not good with people, but I hope that I can return the favor sometimes. Yeah, don't worry. I think you do a good job. Yuri finally turns her back toward me. I guess we should move on before Monica says to me, I hear you all flirting over there? Do I set something on the flirt radar? But I'm sure we can talk again later. Yeah, I'm sure we will. With that, Yuri timidly smiles at me, and I return to my seat so I can put her poem away. Alright, let's show it to Monica. Hi, Manly. Sup? Your style's gone so refined, Manly. Yuri's been teaching you a lot of things, hasn't she? Well, I guess so. Yeah, I've been noticing how much time you spend with her. I think I've heard her say more words these past couple days than she's talked in this whole year. Not sure how you did it, but that's pretty impressive. Well, she just needs some patience and a way to talk about all the things in her head, I guess. I'm still getting the hang of it myself. You're certainly putting a lot of effort. You must really like her. That's... It's awfully suspicious, you know. Spending time with her in the club room every day. Reading that edgy novel with her. Well, I just feel bad that she has a hard time socializing. It makes me want to make sure she doesn't spend all her time alone. Besides, the novel isn't bad either, you know. Alright. I get you. Just be careful, right? I know that Yuri isn't used to opening herself up. So if something bad happens while she's vulnerable, then it could be really hard for her. Her books aren't a total escape from reality. They're just a bandage. You say that like I'm going to hurt her. Sorry, I really didn't mean that. If anything, she might accidentally hurt herself. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright? Let's show it to Natsuki. She comment more? Meh. I guess you really haven't learned anything after all. Honestly, I don't know why I got my hopes up in the first place. What? I didn't think this one was that bad. What did I do wrong? Poems don't need to be all deep-sounding to express something. If it's gonna just sound like you're forcing it unless you really don't suck at it. Honestly, don't bother trying to write poems like this until you're on Yuri's level. Natsuki stops short of all of a sudden. Don't tell me. Eh? You're not just trying to impress Yuri, are you? What are you talking about? And keep your voice down. You know Yuri would have loved this kind of... This angsty... Just because she's a talented writer doesn't mean I mean... Looks like I'm in trouble. I somehow struck a nerve, though what I did is beyond me. I am so done with you. Natsuki shoves the poem I handed her back over to me. Take your stupid poem. If you wrote for someone else, just don't show it to me. Ouch. This is what I get for letting a younger girl step into my business. Unless I was a mind reader, I was destined to be in a world of pain from the start. At least Natsuki wasn't really the girl I was trying to impress in the first place. Now what happens if I show Sayori's poems to these two? This one's alright. Alright. Well, yeah. About as good as yesterday's anyway. I see what you're going for, but it's just not really my style. I mean, that's fine. I'm mostly just glad you're trying a little bit. Well, of course I'm at least trying. Why are you so emotionally invested in my poems anyway? Is that more of a compliment to me? Eh? No, gross. Baka. It's not like I care or anything. It's just that one of us in the club has to make sure you're not slacking off. Really? Well, what if you end up just scaring me away? That's, It's not like you would actually do that. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of fun to hang out here, even if I have to put up with you. Natsuki's elbow connects with my stomach. Oh? Maybe I won't mind scaring you away after all. I was just joking. Oh, I know. Don't worry, I was too. But you hurt me. How do you call that a joke? That seriously hurt. Well, maybe it was funny to her. I guess that's kind of the point. Or the elbow. I should really just watch my mouth around Natsuki. Anyway, Natsuki holds her poem out to me like nothing ever happened. So it's a different poem because we're not on a route. I'll be your beach. Your mind is so full of troubles and fears, diminish your wonder over the years. But today I have a special place, a beach for us to go. A shore reaching beyond your sight, a sea that sparkles with brilliant light. The walls of your mind will melt away before the sunny glow. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way you find yet left you long ago. Let's bury your heavy thoughts in a pile of sand. Bathe in sunbeams and hold my hand. Wash your insecurities in the salty sea, and let me see you shine. Let's leave your memories in a footprint trail, set you free in my windy sail. And remember the reasons you're wonderful when you press your lips to mine. I'll be the beach that washes your worry away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way you find had left you long ago. If you let me by your side, your own beach, your own escape, you'll learn to love yourself again. Yeah, I felt like I kept writing about negative things, so I wanted to write something with a nice message for once. Besides, the beach is awesome. Kinda hard to write anything negative about the beach. We never did get that beach route, did we? She decided to write about the beach first and then came up with the message later? Yeah, well, it's only because of what happened yesterday. I mean, after Yuri and I realized we kind of wrote about the same thing, she wanted to pick a topic and have us both write about or whatever. You can really see her doing that too. Make us write about a simple topic, and trying to impress me by coming up with something all fancy. Well, it's not like I care. I just did it anyway. I mean, I guess it might end up being kind of metaphorical too. But there's nothing wrong with doing that once in a while. At the very least, it was good practice. And then let's show it to Yuri. Well done, Manly. You definitely improved your writing over the course of these few days. Has my advice been helpful to you? Yeah, definitely. I'm glad. Sharing a writing like this, it's a lot more fun and rewarding than I anticipated. I need to remember to thank Monica. I think we all felt a little awkward at first, but now it seems like everyone is enjoying sharing their writing and seeing what others think. I guess I can't really disagree. I was afraid this whole thing would be a chore. But it's a great way for me to spend some personal time with all the girls in the club. But it's been fun getting to know everyone and then their writing. And I guess doing some writing myself. Well, have you learned anything about yourself, Manly? Eh? Well, you know how I like to say that writing is a very personal way to get in touch with yourself. In the end, it doesn't matter if you're a good writer or a bad writer. And even my opinions are just opinions, you know. As always, I believe what's the most important is exploring and discovering yourself. That's comforting. I'm kind of afraid of disappointing you in some way or another. Eh? Why me? Well, you're always sophisticated with your writing and have the most advice to share. Is that so? Yuri thinks for a good minute. That must be terrible. Huh? You mean I become someone whose opinion is fearsome? How unlikable of me. Yuri, it's not as bad as you're making it sound in your head. I just meant that I respect your opinion. I see. I'm sorry that I always overthink and come to sorts of conclusions. I'm just a little too used to it. Overthinking? Being disliked. Yuri. What am I saying? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. Let's move on. Alright. You want to share your poem now? Okay. Here. Oh, you guys both were worried about the beach. What? A marvel millions of years in the making, where the womb of Earth chaotically meets the surface. Under a clear blue sky, an expanse of bliss, but beneath gray rolling clouds, an endless enigma. The easiest world to get lost in is one where everything can be found. One can only build a sandcastle where the sand is wet, but where the sand is wet, the tide comes. Will it gently lick at your foundations till you give in, or will sudden waves send you crashing down in a blink of an eye? Either way, the outcome is the same, if we still build sandcastles. I stand where the foam wraps around my ankles, where my toes squish into the sand. The salty air is therapeutic, the breeze is gentle yet powerful. I sink my toes into the ultimate boundary line, tempted by the foamy tendrils. Turn back and I abandon my piece to erode at the shore. Drift forward and I return to Earth forevermore. I'm aware that the beach is kind of an inane thing to write about, but I did my best to take a metaphorical approach to it. Yeah, Natsuki already told me about. She did? She didn't say anything weird, did she? She just wanted us to write about the same topic again. I suppose to better compare the differences in our writing styles, or thought processes, or being friends. Anyway, it was her idea. Knowing her, it's no surprise that she wanted to do something like that. She probably just wants to show off. It's not like I have a particular interest in her writing style. I just went with her request. But, well, I suppose it's not so bad to write about something simple on occasion. It can be refreshing, you know? It's good for me to calm my thoughts once in a while. Yeah, I think I agree. Thanks for sharing. Looks like we also unlocked a new poem here. A poem from Natsuki undistributed at special events in the past. I name my pen, the expression express, my feelings aboard, with a ticket to you. No room for stammers, no lies, no extra stops, no compromise. Stations screaming by, attendants saying hi. One ticket to you, please and thank you. Take a headphone and doze. No bumps in the rail, just thumps in my heart, and loops in my letters, and clouds in the sky, and dreams in your eyes. Hey, wake up. The train has arrived. Expression Express. To Station U. Choo, choo. Okay, now that we've done everyone's poems, let's move on ahead. Okay, you three. We're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out... Hold on a sec. Is it just me or did you see something strange just now? Eh? Something did sound a bit unusual. That's right. You deviate from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. A catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it. Stagnating air is coming for foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. In your books, maybe. Or in your visual novels. Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here. Ah, it seems you're right. Sayori always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to anyway? I thought she just went to pee. Natsuki, please show some decency. Oh, come on. Ah, she actually wasn't feeling too well and went home early. Is that so? I hope she's alright. Seriously? Of all time to not go home with her, you picked a time she's not feeling well? So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. Oh, no. First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Oh. That curious expression came from Yuri of all people. Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier, and everything is fine. What did she say? Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations, so... Monica, you're dodging the question. Let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. I already know what I'm doing. That's right. Natsuki will be making cupcakes. But we might need a lot of them, in different flavors. Can you handle that all by yourself, Natsuki? Challenge accepted. And as for myself, I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. And as for Yuri... Yuri, you can... Just be Yuri, just be over there. Guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri? I'm useless. No, that's not it at all. You're the most talented person here, you know. Now Natsuki's pouting too. Geez, even I can tell now. I guess I never gave Sayori enough credit. But I can tell things are even harder on you when she's not around. Ah, that may be the case. But if I can't also be the leader on my own, then I won't grow as a person. So, Yuri, you have beautiful handwriting, you know. So you should make some banners and decorations to help set the atmosphere. Atmosphere? About that. I love atmosphere. Yuri's expression suddenly changes as she stares at her desk in focus and starts nodding to herself. Your mind is already racing, I see. That's great. You'll be a wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, that just leaves you, Manly. Sup? The one who's truly useless. Don't say that. In fact, both Natsuki and Yuri have some pretty heavy tasks to handle. It would probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. You could always help me out as well. Sure. I would be really appreciative of that. Is Monica suggesting I spend the weekend with one of my club members? How on earth are they going to respond to a suggestion like that? I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help from Manly. Well, even if you don't know how to bake, there's always some dirty work I can give it to you. It's not like Monica's going to give me a choice, and you should be sitting on your butt anyway. Natsuki tries to mumble a bunch of excuses like that. If I recall, Natsuki, you mentioned that you would like to handle the baking on your own. Manly may not like to be around, if you only make him out to be a nuisance. So therefore, you may be more suited to assisting with the decorations. Hold on, I never said that. How hard could it be to make a few decorations anyway? So it's more like you're just making excuses for Manly to... What are you saying? It will be extremely meticulous work. And baking isn't? Come on everyone, relax. There's plenty of Manly to go around. Just cut me into threes. So what do you think? Guys, let's settle down for a moment. In the end, I think it's up to Manly to decide how he'd like to contribute. Besides, he hasn't really gotten the chance to spend any time with me yet, you know. So I'm sure he's interested in... You literally just said, I'm surprised as well. Sorry. I was just saying though. Jeez. Can we just sell this already? Yeah. Manly, you're okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you. Of course. Very well. In that case, everyone looks straight at me. But of course I'm going with... So, this is technically off of the Natsuki route, this little section right now. So I would choose Natsuki as the final choice. But, I think you might be able to choose everyone. I'm not sure if that really matters. I don't really remember. But I'm gonna choose Sayori and Monica first. I mean, if it's gonna be anyone, then I prefer helping Sayori. I mean, we're already neighbors and... But Monica said that Sayori was helping her. Jeez, do you really hate us that much? No, oh. Sorry, I didn't mean for this to be difficult. Just make it the club, okay? Monica. Well, I guess I should probably be helping Monica. Yay, you picked me. Hold on one second. Yeah. Monica, you're the one who needs the least help out of all of us. Huh? But... I agree with Natsuki. Not only is your work already most suitable for one person, but you already have Sayori as well. But Manly was the one who... that doesn't matter. You were the one who scared him into picking you in the first place. What if I wanted to choose my own? You're the club president, Monica. You're supposed to make responsible decisions for the club. Monica, you shouldn't let any ulterior motives interfere with this decision. Ulterior motives? What are you saying, Yuri? In fact, it sounds like you guys are the ones with ulterior motives. Excuse me? Otherwise, this wouldn't have been made into such a big deal in the first place. That's completely false, Monica. Yeah, we have a lot of work to do, you know. We won't do as good a job if you make us work alone. Maybe that's true. Think of the club, Monica. If we want our event to succeed, then we need to appropriately distribute our resources. So you're gonna do the right thing, President? Okay. I get it. It's technically most logical for Manly to help one of you two. So, I guess that's what we'll do. Natsuki. Well, baking sounds like it could be fun. And you guys made it sound like a lot of work, so it could probably use 2 people. Don't worry. Baking's a ton of fun. You'll definitely agree. Huh? Just a minute ago you were saying that... that's because... Never mind, okay? Well, anyway. You'll be fine by yourself, right, Yuri? Of course. I'll get you back, Natsuki. Just you wait. I'm used to it, after all. You best watch out for banana peels. That's good. Even though Yuri's being melodramatic, it's a little hard not to feel bad. So, that's everything, right? Anything else we need to talk about? No, I think that's it. Are you guys excited? Yes. Everything except the performance is going to be awesome. I don't think that really counts. What about you, Manly? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested to see how it turned out. That's good enough for me. What about you, Yuri? Yuri? She's still sulking. Natsuki starts pounding too. It's not that big of a deal or anything. Well, it might not be just that. I think that Yuri might just be feeling a little underappreciated in general. And to come up with something for her to do, and then nobody offering to help. That doesn't mean... Natsuki glances back and forth between everyone in a worried expression. Look. Natsuki goes over and puts her hand down on Yuri's shoulder. Yuri, you really are the most talented one here. And you're gonna help make the event a lot more fun and welcoming. And I also won, so sorry, see you later. I mean the cupcakes will probably help a lot too. But you're gonna make the atmosphere special. They'll be really important for the way that people feel during the performance. So, you need to stop being dumb and give yourself a little more credit. Natsuki releases her hands and turns around to face the other direction. You didn't really mean that, did you? Not really, but... Yuri isn't the only one surprised. Monika and I are also taken aback by Natsuki's words. Natsuki of all people, to be saying such encouraging things. But I begin to understand. Natsuki was trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I can tell that she tried to say something Sayori would say at a time like this. Because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. I'm sorry for being dumb. I'm gonna do my best. And all of us are gonna make it a really, really great event. Yeah. I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today. So I guess it's time for us to head out. Okay, but I'm staying here a bit longer. I barely got to do any reading today, so... Fair enough, there's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure to dump all your books in the trash can when you're done. You know, those literature quotation marks. Everyone packs up their things. I start to follow Monika and Yuri out the door as they chat between each other. Where are you going? Huh? We still need to figure out our plans for this weekend. You literally would have gone home and realized that you didn't even have any way to contact me. Oh, that's true. I have no idea how that slipped my mind. Geez, good thing I stopped you. I'll give you my number, okay? Nice. You better not make it weird or anything. We're gonna make it weird. Look, I'm texting you right now. Smiley face. Banana emoji. I'm just gonna type out smiley face. Bam, it's awkward. Natsuki gives me her number. Okay. I'm coming over here on Sunday. I'll bring all the ingredients. Wait, you're coming to my house? Well, yeah. What's wrong with that? I mean, I just figured since I'm the one helping, I would be going to your house. Yeah, right. Like I could have a guy over my house. My dad would kill me. Really? That's kinda strict if you ask me. Yeah, how do you think I feel? I can do anything when my dad is home. Anyway, I just need to complain for a sec. We have each other's numbers now. That's all I needed from you. I guess I'll text you when I'm coming over. Secretly, she probably just doesn't want to see her room. It's gonna be like a huge weeb room. You know the deal. Alright, fine by me. Yeah, I'm really gonna show you why I love baking so much. So you better look forward to it. Oh? Didn't you say you were just gonna give me the dirty work? Well... I was just saying that. It's not like I could act like... in front of everyone... that I was looking forward to this. Wait, really? Well, kind of. Just because I never got to bake with someone else before. That's all it is, so... Alright, I get it. Sorry for overreacting. Anyway, I'll be heading out now. See you on Sunday. Never mind. I can't believe this. Natsuki's be coming to my house on Sunday. Even though I would have preferred to do this with Sayori, my anxiety still shoots through the roof. I guess I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point. But who knows what might end up happening when we're outside of school. She even told me she was looking forward to it. I shake my head. Why do I feel nervous that Sayori finds out about this? It's not like we feel that way about each other. Besides, like Monica said, this is about the club. Come on, Manly. I have nothing to worry about. If I just go with it, then I'll have a good time. Alright, let's choose Yuri. Well, I'll probably be most useful helping on Yuri. Me? Are you serious? Why would you... Natsuki, I can only tell you're about to say something mean. No. I was just saying... She'll be helping Yuri then, Manly. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. I'm glad. I have a bad habit of overthinking these sorts of things. So I think your assistance will be very useful. That's great to hear. Natsuki, will you be able to handle the baking yourself? I mean, yeah. I already said I would be fine. Okay. Everyone can tell that Natsuki's feeling a little bit sour. So, is that everything we need to go over? Yeah, that should be about it. Are you guys excited? Well, excited may not be the right word. Yuri, what did you mean by that? But I suppose I'm looking forward to it a little bit. Do you feel the same way, Manly? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested to see how it'll turn out. That's good enough for me. What about you, Natsuki? Natsuki. What? Why is everyone yelling at me? I didn't even do anything. Which is the problem. No, that's not what I meant at all. Yuri anxiously glances between everyone in the room. I'm sorry for this. I don't really know why Manly picked me. And also, your cupcakes are the best cupcakes I've ever had. They go really well with my tea. And nothing that I do for the event will compare to that, so... I get it. I'm kinda surprised, so... Well, why? Well, I'm the one acting immature. I already know that. But you're trying to cheer me up all of a sudden. I know I'm not very good at it. I'm sorry if I said something bad. Natsuki isn't the only one surprised. Monica and I are also taken aback by Yuri's words. When she already has trouble with words, trying to cheer someone up must be far out of her own comfort zone. But I begin to understand. Yuri was trying to sound like Sayori. If it didn't work out perfectly, I could tell if she tried to say something Sayori would say at a time like this. Because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. No, I kinda appreciate it. I'm sorry for making a big deal out of nothing. But I'm gonna say this. You better bet that my cupcakes are gonna be the best part of the whole event. I believe you. Yeah, I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today. So I guess it's time for us to head out. Alright, let's get out of here then. Everyone packs up their things. I start to follow Monica and Natsuki out the door as they chat between each other. I turn around. Sorry. I realized I don't have any way of contacting you this weekend. Oh, you're right. I can't believe that slipped my mind. Should I give you my phone number? I think that would be the best way, yes. Alright then. You and I exchange phone numbers. Okay. Then I'll be stopping by your house on Sunday. Huh? My house? Is that a problem? No, not at all. I just thought that would be the one going to your house since I'm the one helping you. I suppose that makes sense. But if you don't mind, I think I'd prefer going to your house. Alright. In that case, it won't be a problem. I decided not to press Yuri for a reason. It's not like it should matter much either way, so I'll just need to make sure my room is clean. I hope I manage to make myself useful in some way. I'm not nearly as creative as you are. Don't underestimate yourself, Manly. I think that we'll make a very protective team. If you only chose me because you felt bad or something. Wait, you don't actually think that, do you? I don't know. It's difficult to come up with any other reason you might have chosen me. You're forgetting the one reason of the most common sense. I chose to help you because I'm in your route. But... Yuri thinks to herself with an extremely tense expression. Yuri, you're overthinking this. You want me to point out when you're overthinking, right? I didn't realize. I'm telling you, I want to. That's all there is to it. Do you believe me? Yuri thinks really hard again. She looks straight into my eyes for a long while. I believe you. As if it took her tremendous effort, Yuri finally says that and relaxes her expression. And I'm really looking forward to Sunday. Yeah, I am too. After that exchange, I make my way out the door and Yuri follows. I can't believe this. Yuri's gonna be coming to my house on Sunday. My anxiety shoots through the roof. Even though I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point, there's no telling what might end up happening when we're outside of school. More than that, she told me that she was looking forward to it. Is this a chance I'd make something happen between us? Or is it too early for that? Only time will tell. But until then, I won't be able to take my mind off it. I seriously can't wait. Sayori cries in the corner. Okay, now we're back on the Natsuki route. It's already Sunday. I've been getting increasingly anxious about Natsuki's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. I wonder if she'll act any different when it's just the two of us. Just the two of us. Meanwhile, she's been texting me a lot. We sent each other one after exchanging numbers to double check, but it turned into a conversation. She's almost a different personality on the phone. She's using tons of emoji and cute language. She also really likes complaining about things, but I kind of saw that one coming. But putting Natsuki aside, I haven't heard a thing from Sayori since she left the club early the other day. It's not like we text each other all the time or anything, but I've been worried about her in the back of my mind. Between what Sayori said and what Monica said, is it really okay for me to put Sayori's feelings aside when she might need me? I decide to visit Sayori before Natsuki comes over. Rather than asking, I simply tell her I'm coming over, much like we've done in the past. Once I reach Sayori's house, I knock on the door before entering it myself. Again, we used to play so often that we made it a habit of simply entering each other's houses like we were family. The house is quiet. Sayori isn't anywhere on the first floor, so I assume she's up in her room. It's already strange of her not to run down and greet me. I head up to her bedroom, and I finally find her. Sayori? Hi, Manly. Oh God. Thank God. I sit down in her room. Sayori forces a smile, but it's easy to tell that she's different. There's a minute of silence between us. You haven't come over like this in a long time, have you? Oh, I guess you're right. It has been a long time. Not much has really changed, has it? Sayori's room is as messy as it's always been. I also recognize the same stuffed animals and wall decorations that she's had for years now. If you came over more often, it wouldn't be such a mess. That's because I end up cleaning it for you. How come you suddenly wanted to come over today? Aren't you supposed to see Natsuki today? Yeah, but... Wait, how did you know that? Sayori had already left by the time we decided that last meeting. Monica told me. It's only natural for her to keep me informed about the festival preparations. Right? Monica. Oh, that's true. But what about you? Are you going to be helping Monica today? Of course. But I'm just helping her online. We didn't plan to meet up or anything. Oh, so it's just me and Natsuki then. Yep. There's more silence between us. Sayori stares in a random direction. Everything about her behavior is really uncharacteristic. I finally get to the point. I just wanted to see how you were doing. After you left on Friday, when something's wrong, you can't hide it from me. I know you too well. So... Sayori smiles, shaking her head. That's no good, Manly. Eh? Why can't it just be like it's always been? This is all my fault. If I didn't get so weak and accidentally express my feelings, if I didn't make that stupid mistake, then you wouldn't have been worried about me at all. You wouldn't have come here. You wouldn't have been even thinking about me right now. But this is just my punishment, isn't it? I'm getting punished for being so selfish. I think that's why the world decided to have you come over today. It just wants to torture me. Sayori. I grabbed Sayori by the shoulders. What on earth are you saying? Are you listening to yourself right now? I know something's happened to you, but there's no other explanation for you to be like this. So tell me already. Until I know, I won't be able to stop thinking about it. Sayori gives me an empty smile. You really put me in a trap, Manly. But you're wrong. Nothing happened to me. I've always been like this. You're just seeing it for the first time. Seeing what? What are you talking about, Sayori? You're really just gonna make me say it, aren't you, Manly? I guess I have no choice this time. The thing is, I've had really bad depression my whole life. Did you know that? Why do you think I'm late to school every day? Because most days I can't even find a reason to get out of bed. What reason is there to do anything when I fully know how worthless I am? Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why make other people put their energy and care into waste by having them spend it on me? That's what it feels like. And that's why I just want to make everyone happy, without anyone worrying about me. I'm in shock. I can't even figure out how to respond. How's it even possible that Sayori kept this from me the entire time that I've known her? Did she really want so badly for me to not just think about her? Why, Sayori? Huh? Why is it you've never told me about this? It almost feels like I've been betrayed as your close friend. Because if I knew, I would have done everything I could to support you. Even if there's only so much I could do, I would have tried a little bit harder to make every day a little better for you. That's why I'm your friend. All you had to do was tell me. You don't understand at all, Manly. Why do you think I didn't tell you? Because if I told you, then you would have to waste effort caring about me instead of doing important things. I don't want to be cared about. It's bittersweet when people try to care about me. It feels nice sometimes, but it also feels like a bat being swung against my head. That's why I want so badly for you to make friends with everyone else. Helping everyone be happy together is the best thing for me. But then I discovered something else too. Seeing you make friends and get closer with everyone in the club, it feels like a spear going through my heart. So that's why I decided the world just wants to torture me. Every path leads to nothing but hurt. You're right that I don't understand. But I don't understand your feelings at all, Sayori. But I don't need to understand. Whatever it takes for me to help you stop hurting, that's what I'll do. No, Manly. There's nothing. Nothing at all. The only thing that could have helped is that everything could be like it always was. But I was selfish. I finally showed you what a horrible person I am. Tears streaked down Sayori's face. I made you join the literature club because I was selfish. And I was punished by my heart hurting in a way that I couldn't understand. And now you came here. And I made you hurt too. I'm just weak and selfish. That's all I am. And that's why I'm going to accept these punishments. Because I deserve every last one. Without thinking, I once again grabbed Sayori's shoulders. This time, I pull her into a tight embrace. Manly. Sayori, I don't care if you feel selfish. I'm really happy you convinced me to join the club. Seeing you every day makes it worthwhile enough. If I make friends with everyone else, then that's just a bonus. But please never underestimate how much I care about you. I wouldn't have it any other way. Manly. Sayori isn't hugging me back. Despite my arms being wrapped around her and Sayori being a hugging monster, Sayori's arms remain at her side. She starts sobbing next to my ear. No. Don't do this to me. Please don't do this. Manly, Sayori barely manages to speak between her sobs. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but all I want is for her to know that I care. If you have it in you to call yourself selfish, then you have to let me be selfish too. No matter what it takes, I'll figure out what needs to change. I'll make these feelings go away. And if there's anything else you need me to do, you better tell me. I'll get mad if you don't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Gently, Sayori finally puts her arms around me in return. I don't know anything, but it's all really scary. I don't understand any of my feelings, Manly. The only time I'm not feeling nothing is when I'm feeling pain. But your hugs are so warm, and that's really scary too. Sayori lets me go, and as she does so, I let her go as well. The festival is tomorrow. Yeah. It's gonna be fun, right? Yeah. How would you like for me to spend it all with you? It's what I want. I promise. I think that would be nice then. Yeah. Sayori wipes her eyes. If I could spend the whole day here, I would. Of all days, this has to be when I have other plans. Maybe I should cancel. No, don't. Please don't. If you did that, then I really wouldn't forgive you. But it's almost time for Natsuki to meet me at my house. At the very least, you want me to come along and help you out? No, do you want to come along and help out, rather? It would be fun. To my surprise, Sayori shakes her head. I'm sorry. I don't know if that would be very good for me today. You understand, right? It's kind of hard for me to fully understand, but I'm trying my hardest. It's okay. Don't worry too much about it. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Alright. I look forward to it. I said goodbye to Sayori and exited her house. On the way home, I found myself still feeling uneasy. But it's hard for me to keep thinking about when Natsuki's about to come over, too. I think Sayori is right. I shouldn't be worrying too much. We're definitely going to have a great time tomorrow. I should just focus on what's ahead of me. I spent only a few minutes back at home, anxiously waiting on Natsuki's arrival. Before I know it, she texts me to let me know she's outside the front door. Without delay, I opened the front door to let her in. Cat. Sup? Hey. I don't know what I was expecting, but seeing Natsuki in something other than her school uniform totally threw me off. Seeing her in such a cute clothes make the uniform seem totally unfitting in comparison. Jeez, don't make it feel so awkward already. It's gonna be a long afternoon, so don't be weird just because you're not used to seeing me outside of school. Anyway, I'm coming in. I see you brought a lot of stuff. Natsuki's carrying a large bag that's probably full of baking supplies. Well, I didn't want to come all this way to find out that your kitchen isn't equipped for the job. This is a nice kitchen. You brought everything I asked you to, right? Yeah, I did. Today Natsuki asked me to buy a bunch of ingredients if I didn't already have them at home. Good. Glad I can count you to do your part. Well, of course. I'm surprised to hear Natsuki suddenly say that, rather than something snarky like she usually does. Could be that she's a little different outside of school after all. Anyway, let's go to the kitchen. What, are you not even offered to take this heavy bag from me? Where's your hospitality, Manly? Come on. Since when I need to be a gentleman? I grab the bag Natsuki holds out to me. God! This is ridiculous heavy! I carried that all the way here. Are you impressed? I see now. Yeah, I'm impressed, Natsuki. It seems like I always underestimate you. It's because I'm so small, isn't it? You jerk. Natsuki hits a fist in my chest. Hey. Your size has nothing to do with it. Do you really hate being small that much? Eh? It's not like I hate it. I mean, sometimes I like proving people wrong when they only think I'm worth my size. It's fun when I get to be small and also better than other people. But, jeez, never mind. What are you making me say? Don't think you can make me talk about weird things just because we're not at school. Are we getting started or what? There's a lot of stuff I gotta teach you. What? That's a little bit more like you. You're more fun when you just speak your mind like that. Hey, now you treat me like a kid. I was just trying to be a little nicer to you, you know? Just because I don't have a mature and sexy figure like Yuri, doesn't mean you should treat me like... Natsuki catches her words and her face turns red. Natsuki. Forget it. I didn't say anything. I should apologize. Eh? I appreciate that you were trying to be nicer. I should have been a little more considerate too. But also, if that's what you're thinking, then you know that there are tons of guys who are into your body types like yours. Manly, don't go into there. How would you know that anyway? I am on your route, I guess. Just trust me on this one. Gross. Hey, was that to me? Who else? Man, Lee, let's just get started already. You get all sour when a girl calls you gross. Don't be like Nagatoro. I finally found your weakness, Manly. Natsuki smiles deviously. Please spare me. Well, if Natsuki decides to dish out more insults like that, there's no way I'm not fighting back. But she's satisfied enough for now. Finally, starting to pull things out of her bag so we can get started. Before long, the whole kitchen is a mess. Spoons, dirty bowls, flour, spilled fluid, manga, anime, plastic bags, video games, strewn about every countertop. The mixer isn't big enough to make all the batter at once, so we've had to do it several times. Meanwhile, Natsuki's babysitting all my movements to make sure I don't mess up her precious baking. Manly, where did you put the food coloring? The batter's going in the oven soon, so I need to fill the trays. I think it's still in the bag next to the table. What are you using it for? To color the batter, of course. What do you think you'd be using food coloring for? To color things. And food. I'm making each tray a different color. That way, even if the flavors aren't different, everyone can still pick their favorite. Ah, that's a cute idea. Are we doing anything like that with the icing? Do you want to? You're asking me. I don't really have a preference, so... Come on. You're not putting any heart into this at all. Can you at least try to have fun? I'm having fun, I think. I'm not really sure what Natsuki's trying to get out of me. Meanwhile, I see her separate the batter in smaller bowls and put a few drops of food coloring into each. Ah, it does look pretty cool. See? It's not like baking is just about following instructions. The presentation is where you get to be creative and have the most fun. It's a million times more worth it in the end if just looking at it makes everyone's eyes lighten up. Like the ones you made on my first day, huh? I recall Natsuki proudly presenting her cat-shaped cupcakes, and Sayori and Monika's delighted expressions. I wonder if I can make Natsuki proud like that too. Yeah, maybe I'll use the food coloring then. Sounds like you're starting to understand. Just make sure you completely finish mixing the icing before you mess with the food coloring. Yeah, it's getting there. We were using an electric mixer for the batter, so I got stuck with a whisk and a huge bowl for the icing. Eh? The icing's still all lumpy. Are you even trying? Well, yeah. It'll just take a little longer. Jeez, I'll be here all night if you do it like that. Here, look. Natsuki grabs a whisk from me and uses her other hand to tilt the bowl back. You really need to beat the crap out of it. After a few seconds, the consistency of icing has already improved. See? As if to emphasize, Natsuki sticks a finger in the icing and pops in her mouth. I reluctantly start to do the same. Hey! Natsuki suddenly grabs my wrist. I don't want your gross fingers in my icing, Baka. Your icing, eh? Are you forgetting who did all the work? I start to fight back, trying to inch my finger toward the bowl. Don't make me beat the crap out of you next. Anime hijinks. I'd like to try to see you try. I push harder, just enough for my finger to reach the icing, and to, start anime hijinks. I triumphantly scoop some with my fingers just as Natsuki tugs with all her might. Ah! The force of Natsuki pulling me causes me to stumble, making her stumble in turn. Gross! You got on my face. Whose fault is that? There's a big glob of icing on Natsuki's cheek. She tries to reach out for her tongue, but it's too far away. Jeez. You know what? Take this! Natsuki instead wipes it off with her finger before shoving her finger toward my own face. You wish. I'm faster. Hi-yi! I grab her wrist with my hand before it reaches my face, initiating a command grab. Natsuki tries to use her other hand to fight back, but I command grab that one as well. Oh no, stop. Not until you apologize for calling me gross. Fine, fine. I'm sorry for calling you gross. Did you always have a fang? You know I don't mean it. It's just fun seeing you react to it. You do that to me all the time, you know. Saying dumb things just to get a reaction out of me. You really shouldn't tease girls like that. Is that so? In that case, I probably shouldn't do this either. I take Natsuki's finger and put it in my mouth, licking off the icing. Whoa! Whoa, what? Did you seriously just... Natsuki's so surprised that she can't figure out how to get mad at me. Her face is entirely red. Manly, you really shouldn't do that kind of thing to girls. Unless you really like them. You know that, right? What kind of question did she ask me just like that? How did the mood turn to this so quickly? Natsuki gazes at me in silence. I notice her shallow breaths. Why am I starting to feel dizzy? Out of nowhere, the fire alarm starts going off. Fire alarm! Fire alarm! Monica alarm! Stop flirting! In my club room. Wait, this is not my club room. Natsuki rushes over to the oven. Is something burning? I thought you didn't put the cupcakes in yet. No wonder. You left a dirty tray in, you dummy. Oh man, Manly. That's cooking failure 101. How could you make a mistake like that? You should have checked before turning the oven on. Don't blame me for your mistakes. Jeez. Natsuki uses an oven mitt to grab the blackened tray out of the oven. She sits on top of the stove. In another moment, the fire alarm stops. Anyway, I'm putting them in the oven now. Yeah. The tension from the moment before still lingers over our heads. But the moment has already been lost. I watch as Natsuki slides the cupcake trays into the oven. Then I reluctantly pick up the whisk and continue with the icing, like nothing ever happened. Ah, that smells so good. The cupcakes are ready to be pulled out of the oven. Man, I want cupcakes now. As soon as Natsuki opens the oven door, a blast of sweet-smelling warm air fills the room. Look at how cute they all look. She proudly shows off the different colored cupcakes in each of the trays. They'll look even better once we add the icing. Not like you need to tell me that. I brought decorating stuff, so I hope you can get creative. It's time to get creative. Here, scoop the icing into these bags. Natsuki hands me some plastic bags. I have these nozzles that'll make it look nice and fluffy. This one can even make flowers. We probably won't be using it this time, though. What's this one for? I pick up one of the nozzles that has much thinner tip than the others. That one's really thin, to use to make stripes or other patterns. You can also use the right stuff on the cake. Like happy birthday or whatever. Huh, I see. That gives me an idea, actually. Huh? Well, it's a literature event, right? We can make it more literature-themed by writing a different word on each of the cupcakes. It'd be fun to see people choose their cupcake based on a word they like. I was kind of expecting to say something really stupid. But that's actually a really cute idea, so... Maybe I'm getting it from you. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not cute. Come on. We're not at school, nobody's judging. You can't dress and act like this and not expect me to think you're cute. Well... Natsuki's voice trails off. Same with you. Huh? Did you say something? Nothing. Let's just do the icing. Natsuki picks up the paste and fastens the nozzle onto each of the bags. There's a lot to do, so we shouldn't be wasting time. Here, I'll show you how to do it. Without giving me a chance to think about before, Natsuki quickly moves on. She shows me how to apply the icing, and then we each get to work. When we're finally finished, Natsuki puts them all side by side to admire our work. Look how pretty they are together. Yeah, they are, aren't they? I wish I could have one now. Well, there's no reason you can't, right? I don't see any harm in that. Well, yeah, but my dad's making dinner tonight, so I really need to save my appetite. Sayori's the exact opposite in that regard. If she was here, we'd probably be down 10 cupcakes already. And she would still eat dinner. Come on, that's just unhealthy. Besides, when my dad cooks, I eat as much of it as I can. Well, anyway, I was hoping we'd have time for manga, but I need to be home for dinner. Already? That's a shame. It's your fault for working so slowly. You should have thought about that. It's not like you always have this chance. Man. As usual, Natsuki places the blame on me. You can bring the cupcakes tomorrow, right? If you and Sayori each carry some, then you could probably do it in one trip. Yeah, I can do that. And don't worry, I won't let her eat any. I wish she would listen to me the way she listens to you. Yeah. I can think back to the conversation I had with Sayori earlier today. I felt so helpless. Sayori always does listen to me, but at that point it felt like she couldn't listen to me at all. Okay, I'm all packed up. Good work today. You too. I'll walk you out, I guess. Just like that, Natsuki's already about to leave. It feels like the afternoon went by in a flash. More than that, did I even take the opportunity to get closer to her like I wanted? Well, I guess I'll be off then. Thanks for all the help and everything. I'll see you tomorrow. Wait, Natsuki. Huh? What you said before, but not always having this chance. It doesn't have to be that way at all. I had fun today. You showed me how fun baking can be, like you wanted. But aside from that, you can come over any time, okay? I think that if possible, I'd like to spend more time like this. If you want to read manga or go out somewhere... Do you really mean that? Natsuki looks at me tensely, like she's trying to hide her expression. Yeah, I want to spend more time with you. Manly, I thought you only cared about getting this done. I'm sorry I had to leave so early today. I really didn't want to. I would really stay here longer if I could. I feel the same way as you, so... Natsuki suddenly gets closer to me. Wait, Natsuki! Sitting inches from me, Natsuki looks up at me. I feel her fingers gently clutch at the sides of my shirt, as if holding on to me. Her rose-colored cheeks and matching eyes fill my vision, along with her slightly parted lips. What is happening? My head starts to go dizzy, as I feel her soft breaths against me. I felt it. For a while now. Natsuki suddenly jumps back. Sayori! Huh? Awkward. And suffering. Hi, Manly. Sayori. Just now we weren't... It's okay, Manly. I just stopped by to say hi. Well, you should have come a little earlier. I'm already on my way out, so... Oh, really? That's too bad. Yeah, well, I'll still see you at the festival tomorrow, so it's fine. Just don't eat any cupcakes before then. Anyway, later. Clearly flustered, Natsuki hurries off and Sayori waves goodbye. Sayori. I thought you didn't want to come over today. Oh, well, I tried staying in my room, but my imagination was being really mean to me, so I had to come here and see it for myself. See what? What are you talking about? You know, how much fun you were having with Natsuki, and how close you got to her. It makes me really happy that you've made such good friends. That's all that matters to me. Tears start to fall down Sayori's face. That's all that matters to me. Why am I feeling this way, Manly? I'm supposed to be happy for you. Why does it feel like my heart is splitting in half? It hurts so much. Everything hurts so much. This would be so much better if I could just disappear. Sayori, don't say that. It's true, Manly. If it wasn't here, then you wouldn't have to waste your sympathy on me. You wouldn't have to put up with me being selfish. Monica was right. I should just... Monica? Monica was right about what? Sayori, what I said before is true. I'm not gonna let this continue. Caring about you like this isn't the burden your mind is making it out to be. It's something that makes me happy. It's something I wouldn't trade for anything else. So even if it takes an entire lifetime, I'm going to be by your side until you don't feel any more pain. But... Sayori looks away. I put a hand on her shoulder to reassure her. I'm scared, Manly. I'm really scared. What are you scared of, Sayori? I'm scared that I might like you more than you like me. Sayori, it's true, isn't it? I was weak and started to like you too much. I did this to myself. Manly, I like you so much that I want to die. That's how I feel. And that's enough, Sayori. I don't want you to hurt anymore. I slide my hand down Sayori's arm and squeeze her hand in my own. Do you remember how I said I always know what's best for you? Do you still believe me? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Even if you don't understand all of your own feelings, I know what you need the most right now, and that's what I'm going to have to give to you. That's what I'm going to give to you, rather. So I'm loading back before I make that decision, and we're going to go for Yuri's route, because it's going to end up leading to the same decision anyway. I'm getting increasingly anxious about Yuri's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. Yuri is clearly an introvert, and also an intimate person in general. There's no doubt that she'll open up a little bit when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, we've even been texting each other occasionally. She was extremely apprehensive at first, but it wasn't long before I was already learning more about her. But putting Yuri aside... And it gets into the Sayori part, so we'll skip ahead. And then we're back into the Yuri visiting our house part. As I approach my house, I see something that makes me feel a moment of panic. Yuri! Ah! Thank goodness. Are you stalking me? I mean, you technically come to visit, but still. You're a little early. I'm sorry I wasn't home yet. Were you waiting for a long time? No, I just got here. 5 hours ago. And I also climbed into your window and unlocked your doors and went through your stuff. But you don't know that. Hopefully. But I started to get really nervous when nobody answered the doorbell. You always could have texted me. If I had known, I would have reassured you and heard you more on the way home. Ah, I suppose that's true. I didn't think of that, for some reason. It should be common sense to do that, but decided to ignore it. Anyway, let's go inside. I see you brought a lot of stuff with you. That's right. And did you manage to find everything I asked you to buy as well? Yeah, pretty much. At least I hope I got everything right. I'm sure we'll be fine. I take Yuri into my room. The first thing she does is glance around curiously, which makes me feel anxious. It's so clean. I cleaned it before you came over, so... That's very considerate of you to do. Oh no. It wouldn't be really embarrassed for my room to be a mess while you were here. Well, I do enjoy cleaning. I would have gladly helped you clean. Ah, that would be even more embarrassing. Wait, don't look in there! I snatched Yuri's wrist, which was in the process of opening a desk drawer of mine. Ah, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking for some reason. Yuri, you sure you're not a stalker and snooping as usual as I see? I was just spacing out. It's fine, it's fine. I let go of Yuri's wrist. She puts both her hands firmly in her lap, as if making sure she's keeping track of them. So, should we get started? Ah, yes. I have a few things planned that you can help with. Decorations and other atmospheric enhancements. Atmospheric enhancements? You know, like romantic candles, romantic therapy, some chocolate. You know, usual atmospheric enhancements that I just brought coincidentally while I'm in your bedroom. You know, Mood-lighting aromatherapy candle. You know, I was making a joke about that. Because like I said, even if I played this before a long time ago, I don't remember anything. I legitimately don't remember anything. Like, a lot of things just are clear. So, I was like, oh my god, she did bring this. Oh no. It was just a joke. I seriously did not think you brought... I thought you were going to bring, like, little, like, here's some twirlers and some things. Like, party! Oh wow. I didn't know you planned on taking it that far. Of course. I want to help take our guests to a faraway place. Although many will stop by just out of curiosity. And for cupcakes, I guess. I'm determined to provide an experience that will leave them wanting more. That's great. It's easy to forget that you're a pretty intense person. Ah, intense. I guess that's the best way to put it. Is that a bad thing? No, not at all. It's something that I like about you, actually. Is that so? That makes you feel relieved. And kind of happy. Yeah, no need to be so anxious. You can relax a little. Relax. I brought some things for relaxation. I was going to use them during the poetry event. Oh yeah? Like what? Ropes. I mean, let's see. Yuri rummages through her bag. She pulls out a few candles and a wooden cylinder-shaped object. I did some shopping on the way here, so I happen to have these in my bag. I plan to cover the windows in black paper and use the candles to light the room. I think that would be amazing, don't you? That's more like a haunted house. Yeah, that would be really neat. What's that wooden thing, though? Oh, this? It's a diffuser for essential oils. I'm familiar with aromatherapy. Not familiar at all. Ah, is that so? It's one of my favorite contributors to a positive atmosphere. Depending on the oils or herbs you choose, you can change the mood of the air itself. This comes back to what I say that Yuri is inherently... She's supposed to be the shy character or something. Not literally, but I'm just saying that that's her archetype. She's kind of mimicking in anime sense. But she is inherently, outside of like maybe like other the main characters we can't really choose in this route, she is the romantic one. And this is like, in the real world, if someone did this would have been very like intentful, sneaky. Not sneaky necessarily a bad sense, but like, here are my obvious intentions. You can even feel it permeate throughout your body. Relaxation, positive energy, romance, reflection. Because Natsuki thinks like, oh, I'll bring cooking stuff. Cooking's kind of like cute. It's kind of like date-light thinking. Like it's cutesy thinking. It's a simple, straightforward kind of thing. Well, Yuri was straight on, oh yeah, let's go to your bedroom. And here's these things I'm going to coincidentally use for the event, which are also typically for like romantic evenings and nights, if you know what I mean. It's like, yeah, I understand where you're going with this. It's almost like magic. Yuri takes a cylinder and pushes a switch on the bottom. In just a moment, a thin ray of vapor begins to spout through a small hole in the top. Wow, that smells wonderful. What kind of mood is that one for? This is a jasmine essential oil. It smells a little sweet and flowery, right? You have to go way to describe it. I chose jasmine for the event because it provides more than relaxation. Jasmine enhances your emotions and helps you feel them flow through your body. You feel warmer, and your heart pounds more heavily. Don't you think that would be perfect for sharing our poems? It does sound suitable. But you seem to know a lot about this, so I'll trust your opinion with anything. Yuri smiles gently, clearly enjoying herself. She again reaches in her bag and pulls out several spools of thin ribbon. What are those for? Well, did you purchase the origami paper I asked you to get? Yeah, I have it over here. We won't be using the paper for folding origami. What I like to do is write a different word on each paper. We'll need about 100 of them. Oh yeah? What will those be used for? Well, I'm going to cut the pieces of ribbon that hang from the doorway of the classroom. Then we can fasten the paper onto the ribbons to create a doorway curtain. Wouldn't that be beautiful? It would also catch the eye of those passing by the room. It may attract some to peek inside. That's really creative. I know you'd be so good at this, Yuri. Is that so? Well, I suppose I do get a little intense, as you'd put it. Yuri giggles with red cheeks. Is it just me? Or is she more relaxed when it's just the two of us? Or maybe it's the excitement she feels from sharing something that she enjoys. Here's a marker, Manly. You can write any characters you want. I'll help you once I finish cutting the ribbons. Ah, alright. Going back to the character dynamics and how they chose to do their little visiting event. So once again, Natsuki's is very fitting. Because she is not necessarily immature, but hers is more like cutesy and datesy. That's her gimmick. Yuri's, even if you bar the romantic candles, the aromatherapy, and all the other stuff she brought over coincidentally, the act that you're doing like cutting and like origami and like markers, like you're using your fingers a lot, that's also another kind of romantic archetype thing. Because at some point, you're going to notice each other's fingers kind of working in your hands. And it's like one of those little subtle things. It's subtle. It's not like, oh, here, I'm sexy, here I go. It's more like the little subtleties are like what really gets people going. I carefully draw a different character on each paper, doing my best to manage my bad handwriting. Yuri unravels a long strand of red ribbon to her desired length. Then she reaches into her bag once more and pulls out a pocket knife. Yeah, maybe not the knife part. The knife is strangely beautiful. The silver handle has intricate pattern of waves etched into it. The blade itself is gently tinted blue. That's no ordinary pocket knife. It looks really fancy. Well, embarrassed, Yuri looks away. What is it? You're gonna think it's weird. Yuri, whatever it is, I have no reason to judge. Yet, to each their own, you know? If you promise you won't be weirded out. Yeah, I promise. Alright. The thing is, I'm kinda into knives. They're just so pretty. I can't help it. I don't know what it is. The combination of craftsmanship and feeling of danger, maybe. What am I saying? Please don't think I'm weird for this. No, a lot of guys get turned on by that. You're laughing at me. No, I'm not laughing at you. It's just funny how nervous you got about sharing. It's an interesting thing to be into, I guess. But I think it kind of suits you. Suits me? Yeah, it's kind of intense. Besides, it's a really cool looking knife. I can't deny that. It is, isn't it? Yuri relaxes her expression once again. Would you like to hold it? Sure, I'll check it out. Yuri carefully hands me the knife, and with the handle facing me, I take it and turn around my hands. It feels heavy and extremely solid. Where do you even get a knife like this? Curious of its sharpness, I feel the point of the knife with my index finger. Ow! Manly! Why did you do that? I knew that was going this way. I didn't expect it to be that sharp. I barely touched it at all. It's a knife. Hey, it's my fault. Let me lick your finger. I should have warned you. This knife is extremely sharp. It can cut through skin like it's paper. Oh no. A small drop of blood trickles down the side of my finger. Yuri takes my hand and gives the wound a closer look. She stares at it and noticeably fidgets. If you're squeamish, I'll go wash it off now. Without warning, Yuri puts my finger in her mouth and licks the wound. I feel her tongue curl around my finger. Startled, I instinctively pull my hand back. Oh, please forgive me. See, in Natsuki's, you're licking fingers, and Yuri's route, she's licking fingers. But maybe it's a little bit different than Natsuki's was like, oh, here's some like frosting. Yuri's like, oh, blood, I'm into that. Yuri lowers her head, her face burning up. Yuri, that's the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. How could I do something like that? I'm sorry. She was a little weird, and it took me by surprise. But I guess she was just trying to help, right? Yuri, I think you're overreacting a little. She doesn't lift her head. What if she doesn't recover from this the rest of the afternoon? Alright, you know what? This might be a stupid thing to do, but I do it anyway. I take Yuri's hand and lick her index finger in return. Manly! Did you really just do that? Now we're even. God, this is weird. Not like weird, but just like... Oh man. Yuri just looks at me like I did something wrong. I knew that would be a bad idea. If not for the sweet aroma of the jasmine oil, the air would be extremely heavy right now. You're so weird, Manly. Yuri giggles shyly. Yuri calling me weird. I have no response to that. Where do you keep your bandages? I don't think I need one actually. It was a tiny cut. And you kinda sucked all the blood out, you vampire. Look, it already stopped bleeding. I see. That's we're leaving. Attention is quickly lifted. We each resume our respective activities. I watch Yuri's knife cut through the ribbon like it's nothing but air. Meanwhile, I continue to make progress on the paper. Remember I was telling you about the finger thing? See, I told you, the finger stuff would come up. Fingers, man. After we finish attaching the paper to the ribbons, we lay them all out side by side. It looks better than I expected, and will be very effective as a door curtain. It looks great. Good thing you came up with this, Yuri. Thanks. It's just something I saw online, really. Are you ready to move on to the next task? Yeah, let's do it. What do you have in mind? I'd like to create a banner. That's why I asked you to buy the paint tables. Tablets, rather. I don't know why I said table. Well, I know why. Oh, that's right. One of the items Yuri had asked me to buy was a kit of watercolor paint tablets. We need about 6 cups of water to put each of the tablets in. Do you mind fetching those for us? Of course not. 6 cups of water. I'll be right back in a minute. Thank you very much. Oh, and just a little bit of water is okay. If you fill the cups too much, it'll be too diluted. Taking Yuri's advice, I decided to use a small plastic bathroom cups rather than full-size glasses. I put them on a plate to catch any paint that drips, then bring it back into my room. Yuri? Yes? I come in to see Yuri quickly unrolling her sleeve, pulling it back over her arm. Nothing. Your face is a little red. Is it too hot in here or anything? No, not at all. There's nothing wrong, so let's mix the paint. Yuri hurriedly dismisses me and takes it upon herself to unwrap the tablets, dropping them into the cups. So, I thought we'd do something simple that would look very nice. I'd like to paint a gradient across the banner, starting with the colors for a sunrise, then daytime, then sunset and nighttime. Once it dries, I'll write an inspirational quote across the banner. We can hang on the wall behind the podium at the front of the classroom. Oh, neat. What are you gonna write? Well, it will be more fun to surprise you. Yuri smiles at me. If you say so. I love manly. There we go. After rolling out the banner, Yuri and I kneel on the opposite sides so we don't get in the way of each other. Yuri uses a brush and adds a few dots of different colors across the banner to serve as a color guide when we paint. This kind of reminds me of elementary school. Painting on a banner with watercolors was a lot like the art class projects we had back then. It's relaxing. I'm sorry this feels too childish. No, I didn't mean that at all. It's kind of fun, you know. Yeah, it is fun. I'm glad you feel that way too. Yuri stops painting for a moment, thinking to herself. For me, I don't need to go out and do crazy things to have fun. In fact, I usually don't even want to. I just like when I can spend time with one other person. Even if it's something simple like reading, it doesn't even matter if we don't talk much. Just having a friend next to me makes things feel a little bit nicer. I just think that's all it takes for me to be happy. Is that so? Even if Yuri and I are quite different, I can understand where she's coming from. I feel that way about things like anime and games, where simply sharing the experience with someone can make me happy. I think I feel the same way. Yuri smiles gently. I knew you'd understand. Yuri leans over the banner to grab an unused paintbrush, but I move at the same time, causing my head to bump into hers, and causing anime hijinks. Kia! Sorry. Yuri reels back, and I quickly lift my hand in surprise. Are you hurt? No, I'm not hurt. It just startled me, that's all. Sorry, I should have asked you to get it for me. It's not your fault. Oh, your face. The droplets of paint on Yuri's face and neck. Is there something on my face? Yeah, I accidentally got paint on you. Sorry, it's totally my fault. I'll get a towel right away. Just use your fingers again. I mean, your tongue. Or something. I don't know. What do you guys do when you guys keep doing that thing, right? That's what you guys do? I rush out and fetch a small towel, then dab it with hot water. I return to my room and I kneel back down in front of her. Here. I pat down Yuri's face and neck with a towel. Is something wrong? It's hot. I just didn't expect it. Sorry. I didn't want to use cold water. Having finished, I start to retract my hand. But Yuri suddenly holds my wrist. Wait. Huh? Just for a little longer. It feels really nice. I keep my hand still against Yuri's neck. She looks into my eyes. It's an intense expression that I recognize from when she reads her books. Because now she's reading us. Almost as if she's lost in a daze, enveloped by her own thoughts. She breathes gently, half through slightly parted lips. What is happening? Is it the aroma of the jasmine oil giving me this dizzy feeling? Yuri's gentle fingers, wrapped around my wrist, sent a tingling sensation through my arm. And suddenly, her face seemed to be much closer to mine than it was just a moment ago. Yuri slowly pulls away. Sorry, I've been feeling a little lightheaded today. I didn't mean to space out. It's fine. The moment was over as soon as it began. Yuri picks up her brush again, but her movements seem clumsier, like she's unable to focus. I remain silent, forced to ignore the event that just transpired. I hesitantly retrieve my own brush and continue following Yuri's example. That should do it. I finished filling the night sky with white dots that look like stars. Looking at the banner as a whole, it's very pretty and natural looking. I think it came out better than I expected. I'm really happy with the results. Yeah, me too. Are you going to add the lettering now? Not yet. It needs to dry first. That's true, but won't that take a while? Well, perhaps it'd be best to leave it here. Have you bring it in the morning. I can do the lettering in the classroom before our event starts. Is that okay? That's totally fine. Wonderful. In that case, I don't think there's anything more for us to do here. Phew. You said like you were glad it's over. Was I wrong to assume that you were at least enjoying yourself a little bit? Oh no, it's not that. I'm just glad we managed to get everything done. I see. I am too. I was a little concerned about time. I need to start making dinner soon. So you don't have any time left? I was really hoping we could have extra time after finishing the work. Well, I'm sure you do, Manly. For Manly, I guess, because I'm also Manly. Well, Yuri thinks to herself. I think it would be too irresponsible for me to wait much longer. I'm sorry. I was hoping there would be more time as well. It's probably my fault. Sorry for being such a slow worker. Why don't you have dinner here? No, it's not your fault at all. And the important thing is that we got everything done, right? Yeah. So, I shouldn't be disappointed, or anything. Gathering all our things, Yuri seems to look a little downcast. I understand why. It sounds like she really gets the opportunity to spend time with her friends in a relaxed environment. That doesn't mean this is the last time it can happen. Once Yuri packs up, I walk her out the front door. Thank you very much for having me today. No problem. I was glad I was able to help. Just let me know if there's anything else you need me to bring tomorrow, aside from my blood. I will. Well then. Yuri fidgets. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Wait. I can't say that without thinking. About today. It's fine we didn't have as much time as we wanted. Because we can do this again. Whenever you want. You can come over or we can go out somewhere. I forgot you don't like going out much. As I stumble over my words, Yuri simply smiles bashfully. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, so... You're very thoughtful, Manly. Yuri takes a step closer to me, then briefly squeezes my hand. I kind of like that about you. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? But I don't even get a chance as Yuri suddenly pulls back. Sayori! Eh? Hi, Manly. Sayori. Just now we weren't... It's okay, Manly. I just stopped by to say hi. Well, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry, but I'm only on my way to leave. Oh, really? That's too bad. I'm sorry, but we'll all be together at the festival tomorrow, so that's fine, right? Of course! Sayori beams. Yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow. Clearly embarrassed, Yuri hurries off. Sayori waves goodbye after her. Sayori, I thought you didn't want to come over today. Oh, well, I tried staying in my room. My imagination was being really mean to me, so I had to come here and see it for myself. See what? What are you talking about? You know, how much fun you were having with Yuri, and how close you got to her. It makes me really happy that you made such good friends. That's all that matters to me. Tears start to fall down Sayori's face. So this is pretty much going to be the same dialogue retread, so I'm just going to kind of skip ahead. You'll always be my dearest friend. You'll always be my dearest friend. We need most for things to be like they've always been. Naga told me the truth. She told me how much happier you seemed after I joined the club. I know you're struggling with some really difficult feelings right now, but please trust me that I know what's best, and will make you happy in the end. I promise I'll help get things back to the way they were. I see. Sayori forces a smile through an incredibly pained expression. Is it what it feels like to get stabbed in the chest? I should write a poem about this. Sayori. It's okay. This is just my punishment. Remember? For being so selfish. So please don't worry about these stupid feelings. I know you're right. I knew this whole time there's no happiness down that path. That's why I came here. Just so I could get the answer I needed to hear. And the other thing, you're also right, I just wanted to go back the way it was. I realize that now. You really do know me better than anyone, Manly. I'll trust you with anything. Anything at all. So, Sayori's smile finally breaks. All of a sudden, she turns around and drops to her knees. No, I'm not even gonna bother. It's too sad for me to try to read that out. Clutching her head with both hands, she screams as loudly as she can. I'm so shocked I don't know how to react. Sayori looks over her shoulder and flashes me one more weak smile before turning and running around and running off. Sayori! I'm left helplessly standing in front of my house. Why am I feeling so horrible about this? There's nothing more that I could have done. The most I can do is support Sayori through her feelings and help her on the path that's right. But I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more, something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. I'm going to give it everything I've got. Sayori will always be my dearest friend, and I'll do whatever it takes to put a smile on her face every day. Alright, let's choose I love you. I love you. Huh? Those are my true feelings. So there's no way you could like me more than I like you. I should have realized it sooner. But spending time with everyone at the club, making new friends, having fun with you every day, it helped me realize that you're truly the most important person to me. That's why I'll accept any of your burdens. As long as we continue like this every day, with you by my side, then I know we'll both be happy. Manly. Suddenly Sayori wraps her arms tightly around me. Manly, is this really okay? Yeah. I held Sayori in my arms and pulled her closer. You'll never have to let go of me again. I love you, Manly. I want to be with you forever. Me too. I feel Sayori's grip around me weaken a little bit. What is this? Sayori? I'm supposed to be happy right now. I always thought this would be the happiest moment for me. But why? Even now, why won't the rain clouds go away? They're not going away at all, Manly. It's okay, Sayori. It might take some time for things to get better again. But no matter how long it takes, I'll be there every step of the way. That's all that matters right now. Okay, I trust you. Sayori and I slowly release each other. So, I guess that makes the festival tomorrow our first date, huh? What are you saying? I don't want to think about those things, you know? I want everything to be the same as it always has been. Even if we really are a couple. I don't know if I can handle anything more right now. It's really new and scary to me. I understand. We'll go at whatever pace suits you best. Hey, Manly. Sayori gazes at me once again, smiling sadly. Even if I get really sad, this is the best thing for me, right? Huh? I don't really understand what Sayori means by that. Are you saying this is making you feel sad, Sayori? I don't know. I don't understand what I'm feeling. It felt like a bunch of thorns when you told me you loved me. But that's why I want to trust you. You know what's best for me. Yeah, I do. That's my promise. I say that, but in reality I've never felt more uncertain when it comes to Sayori. I know that I love her, and she loves me. But I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more, something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. Is that what Sayori meant by not wanting anything to change? I don't know. But know that I'll give everything I got. Sayori is the most important person to me, and I'll do whatever it takes to have a happy future with her. It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori. But Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently rolled it up to take with me. She sent me a pleasant text to remind me not to forget anything, and I reassured her. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Yuri at the festival. But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. Manly, you're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monika's placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that all of the poems were performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monika would like, and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You think that on days it's important, she'd try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday, and I suddenly feel awful, knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said because it's the way I'm used to thinking, but maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all. You should take a little responsibility for her, Manly. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know. Exchange? Monika, you know about that. Of course I do. I'm the club president after all. But, I stammer embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about that quickly? That we're a couple now? I didn't really plan to bring it up with anyone yet. Geez, you don't know the full story at all, so... Don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Huh? Monika's being as friendly as usual, but for some reason, I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desks. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem was neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognized Natsuki and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Get out of my head, 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 get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. Ah! What is this? Reading the poem. I get a pit in my stomach. Manly? What's wrong? Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm gonna go get Sayori, so... well, all right. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself. Monika calls out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her, or help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they've always been. That's all she needs, and what I want to give her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer, so she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I opened the door and let myself in. No Denji. Sayori? She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Wake her up in her own house. That really is something that a boyfriend would do, isn't it? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. So... What the hell? What the hell? It's just a nightmare. It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be there for her. I told her I know what's best and that everything will be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Confessing to her. I shouldn't have confessed to her. That's not what Sayori needed at all. She even told me how painful it is for others to care about her. Then why did I confess to her and make her feel even worse? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and remained friends with her like it always has been, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I can do can bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I had only one chance, and I wasn't careful enough. And now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers. But I still couldn't do what she needed from me. And now, I can never take it back. Never. 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 End. Or is it? Hey, Monica's. I see an young girl run toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is my neighbor and a good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today. It just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this. But starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently. Now we get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better running running away. How if I just sign, let idle from the crosswalk and let ads catch up to me? Oops. God, it's like all the girls in one. It's an ordinary school day like any other. Morning's usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that. But I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. The school day is ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably only be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Manly? Monica? Oh my goodness. I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Ah, yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica's probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What'd you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. You know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? Or your heart? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? Oh, about that. I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing is but arguing about the budget and publicity, and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy, and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. A literature club. Literature. That sounds kind of... dull? How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know. Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. But I keep wanting to put in trash. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insisted manga's literature, too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey, Manly. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? I mean, I guess so, but... In that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but... if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please. Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Oh, awesome. You're really sweet, Manly. You know that? It's nothing really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I dejectedly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. A guest? Seriously? You brought a boy? Would it kill the atmosphere? Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Manly. All words escape me in the situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. All 3 of them. Nope, no 4th one. So let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? Monica, she's like, What? No, I'm not. Now she's like, Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name's apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yuri appears comparatively more mature and timid. Seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Manly in the classroom, and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that. I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Manly? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So you know I didn't really plan on coming here. But we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like Festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have really worked hard to just find these 2. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom. Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So Manly, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki! Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, you weeaboo, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in. but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can be so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Dan. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately, Dan. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasping I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh? Why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes start over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud. And give that back. Fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems. Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you show them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Oh, not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monica. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Manly? Sure. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monica may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made my decision. I still have other clubs to look at, I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I did all this for you, Manly. I thought... The girls exchange glances before Monica turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Manly. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really hard to find new members. If we don't find one more before the festival... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. Besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. And so if writing poems is a price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls... Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes line up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Manly? Yeah. It could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I'd be super pissed. Manly, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Oh, thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over to me once more. Manly, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class from Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. You've unlocked a special poem and you like to read it. I can't convince myself to go to therapy when I'm the happiest I've ever been. I'd rather keep this up until I blow my cover, and someone takes me to the emergency room. Hey, is there supposed to be a Monica here? So I actually unlocked some more mail as I was playing this. I'm not sure what I did to unlock it, they just kind of started peering in. And I read them, and some of them were major spoilers, but now that I've gotten a little bit farther in the game, and we saw that ending, I can read these and it makes a little more sense. First one, OMG. Okay, who's responsible for creating a Twitter account for Monica? I think it's hilarious, but for God's sakes, don't tell Paula. It was your 404 in a microsecond. Are you spelling her tweets manually, or did you code some kind of pass-through layer to automate it? Based on the contents of the tweets, e.g. not screaming for help, I'm assuming they're coming from a control simulation. Character discrepancy. Having run the control simulation for a while, it's evident that certain characters missing from any mention or appearance. This makes me speculate that Monica's meddling is less clumsy than we think, because she would have had to manufacture this character herself as a way of forcing interaction between her and the user. Could that be why the character has such a limited and dissonant personality traits? Or am I reading too much into this? I'll open it to start tracking info and observations on the anomaly of this character appearing. Side stories. Thank you to everyone who worked so hard in the control simulation. I can't imagine how tedious it must have been to so delicately hide Monica's elevated permissions from her without disrupting our connection to the VM. Just to clarify, all the recordings labeled side stories are part of the control simulation, right? I'm noticing some details of the characters' lives here and there that differ a little bit from those in VM1, even trivial ones. Is it part of the butterfly effect from some of Monica's more fundamental changes, or a result of her just messing around with the other characters in VM1 as her own experiment or for fun? So if I'm keeping track, we have 5 different universes in total? With 3 or 4 of them created and destroyed by Monica, of course. It's funny because I keep wanting to speculate on which one is a real universe, but in reality, they all are. As real as ours is anyway. Have a nice weekend. I'm gonna leave the rest of the week. Contact Ravi if you need to schedule server time. But I expect my jobs to run for a few days, since we collected so much data this week. How about we arrange a meeting to discuss the results when I return? So it kind of feels like these are supposed to be big spoilers, but they unlock before I be in the game. So it's I guess, writing-wise, Dan's changed essentially, because of the whole fake computer thing, he's changed the skeleton and framework of the game quite a bit, maybe in the lore, which we're going to discover more as we go through, I guess. And that one of them unlocked something here. It's interesting. This one, a rough concept sketch of what the faceless protagonist might look like if he was a real character. This came from one of the emails, apparently.